Hi, Rich.
I got poop. I got a real poop situation going on.
Well, that's the story of your life, buddy.
Well, we need to get your head in the game.
Yeah, get your head in the game and get
Just
Ingrid to grab
put
the
it out
pot.
of put it out of mind for a little while, just for an hour, and then you can poop all night poop on your own time.
Hey, do you know that
It's
Bobby
1
had
hour a week. That's all you got to do here.
Bobby had to Google what hot snakes was because he didn't know what they were.
I didn't know what the term was. I put it in a Google.
That's because he poops like a woman.
No, he poops like a fucking bird.
No.
Like a deer or a bear, just little pebbles.
No, I have very healthy bowel movements. I just do them at the same time every day. It's called consistency.
What's the game on tonight?
Prime.
Amazon?
Prime Video.
These fuckers, I have that, but still.
Pretty soon, everything's going to be on a streaming service, and we're going to have to pay buku
Literally,
dollars.
it's like every Thursday the game's going to be on something different.
No, it's always on Prime.
Fuck off, right?
Whatever. No, Bobby was wrong. Fuck off, Bobby.
Yeah, no, I'm royal scattered right now. Up top and down below. It's all coming out of my ears and my ass. So we're gonna see how the rest of the show goes. New jail cell, Bobby?
Yeah,
he's all white,
actually,
baby.
I'm incarcerated right now, but I managed to do a podcast.
They finally caught the wet bandit.
No, he's in the Diddy White Party right now. He finally got the invite.
Okay, well that's cool. What's the what do you say we start the show with some opening takes as we always do? Seeing as the last several times we've done opening takes, Bobby's gone first. Ray is basically just copying.
I always go first. I always go first, you son of a bitch.
Ray, we're going to ask you to dive in to the obvious one's brain and try and come up with an original thought tonight. Please kick us off with some opening
Probably
takes.
going to be about pancakes.
It's not about pancakes, Bobby, but however, it is about Christian Gonzalez. That, you know how I said we needed an heir apparent and everyone laughed at me because, J.C. Jackson, whatever. But Christian Gonzalez, he's going to take this team as far as they need to go because Jacoby Brissett, Mr. Consistency, he's not going to win games for you because he's only going to throw 160 yards and maybe get a touchdown. But this defense, if they play lockdown, tight defense, and Christian Gonzalez is locking down some of the best receivers in the NFL, clearly right now he's in 5 games, very short sample size, but the quarterback completion rating is only 64%, only averaging 158 yards on him and 6.8 yards per completion. I mean, say what you will with the short sample size. He is stopping some elite receivers, and for that, I'm excited.
What a strong opening take. Did you guys, Bobby, did you chat before I got on here? Is that what you were talking about before I got on the show?
We're talking about Christian Gonzalez being the key to the Patriots season.
Yeah, that was your opening thought. It wasn't an opening take. You were just like, you know what? I've thought about this today, and then Ray was like, "That sounds good."
Stolen. I'm taking it.
I'll go with my opening take. I'm going to shift gears a little bit. Robert Kraft has been in the news for his gaudy, lofty, embarrassing supposed pitch for the Hall of Fame for years, apparently, according to the most recent ESPN report that came out. We could talk about that in the show if we'd like. If we get to it, there's a lot of football. Sara Marshall is going to be joining us to talk real football. So maybe we don't get this, so we'll touch on it here. My beef's not with Kraft, okay? It's a little embarrassing for the king of Orchids of Asia to be going this hard to get that fucking golden jacket. Like, who cares? You're an owner. My beef is with Hall of Fame voters. They're all a bunch of losers. They're all both self-righteous, self-indulgent, holier than now, the keeper of truth, fucking losers. All of them. I mean, baseball, it's been that way forever. I didn't know football got to that point. Did a little research. I guess there's 17 of these schmucks on some committee that meet every year and talk about it. And guess what? They all hate you, Robert Kraft. They hate you because you're smug and you're not genuine about your approach here, trying to get into the Hall of Fame. But most of all, they hate you because you won and you dominated for 20 plus years, and you did it in arrogant, smug fashion by the name of Bill Belichick. That's why he's not getting into the Hall of Fame, because they won and you're assholes. That's it. That's why he's not getting in, and now you're trying too goddamn hard. So, we'll all celebrate you when you move upstairs. They'll finally give you the honor that you probably do deserve getting into the Hall of Fame. But really, my beef here is with the voters. Just don't be so shitty. Clearly, the dude belongs in the Hall of Fame, and just because he's smug and they won and pissed you off for 20 years, you're going to come up with the excuse of cheating. Fuck off. I fucking hate Hall of Fame. Don't even bring me down the baseball path, or I will shit my pants. That's the point that I'm at right now. So there you go. Maybe we'll get to the craft talk. Maybe we won't. Bobby, your opening take.
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago, I had an opening take where I read a children's book and then compared that lack of day-to-day Patriot knowledge to that of Gerard Mayo. It was hilarious, but very, very disrespectful. I'm sorry, Gerard. After your week 1 performance, if you could do that again week 2, I'll be a believer. You can't do it once. Show me again against the Seahawks that you can keep a buttoned-up place, and I won't ever compare you to a children's book again. I promise.
I didn't know you were on first name basis with Coach Vibes.
I didn't know he had
that's his name.
I didn't know he had an honest apology in him. Never heard it before. It's nice that he did couch it with his own patting of the back for his own joke.
It was hilarious. You were both laughing.
It was certainly on brand, minus the apology. A little crow for you to eat there, Vine. We'll get to your waxing poetic takes that you put into this show this week. We'll get to your coach vibes, your real thoughts and opinions. That was ungarnished, unbranded response to the week 1 that you sent that email on Tuesday or something. I have it all word for word.
Still a little tuned up.
Word for word, the heart emojis Bobby had for Gerard Mayo. So we'll be doing that. Obviously, a lot of football talk. I mentioned Sara Marshall from Musket Fire is going to be joining us again to talk some real Patriots. If you're not following her, Musket Fire, I don't know. She puts out like 12 articles a day. I don't know how she does it. I tried to read them all today. I can't. I don't read it too good. But go follow her. Great follow. A lot of good content there on musketfire.com. She will be joining us a little bit later in the show to talk some Patriots. So because of that, we're going to start off with one of our real hot fire segments called Dr. Big Mac's NFL Power Rankings. They're guaranteed to do one of two things: make you shit your pants out of anger, or make you shit your pants out of feeling sorry for how stupid Ray is. So we'll start the show off with some NFL talk, of course. A lot of football. We're all football all day, all the time. This or that with Chief Bobby and Simplest Minds of the Week. This is the Simple Minds Sports Show, Friday Rewind, live September 12th. Welcome to the show. The Celtics are dumb front-running pussies. This is the same team they have been for 4 years running.
Well, my worst nightmare came true. Missoula and Mayo are friends. What the fuck? Apparently they've known each other since Virginia. They have these docking sessions where they talk about ball and managing people.
Vacation. I'm gonna quay all these. I'm gonna fucking watch them this week.
Do you say quay?
Is it not quay?
It's Q. It's Q. It's Q-U-E. You idiot. Good try, Raymond. Good try.
Well, if you weren't playing with Finley's hair, I could have got it. Jeez.
What did that have to do with me? And it still didn't fade out. You still just stopped it.
I told you, because we have to clip it all. Now I have to go back and clip everything. So I have to make like 30-second clips of that song to fade it out.
No shit.
Don't worry. Yeah, okay. I didn't know that. You just emailed that to me today. I have fucking jobs to do. Jesus Christ.
No, first of all, no, you don't. Second of all, emailed that to you at like 4:00 today. It was 4 hours ago. Look, doesn't matter. Fourth wall. I said, Ray gets all hot and bothered about this. He thinks I'm going to get angry at him because generally I do, but not really. I don't care that much. I just thought it'd be nice to have some music to fade in and out of segments. You know, let's sound a little professional instead of hard cut off. And he's trying. So, golf clap to you. Good try. Better next time. Resident professional, sports pro. Finley, you said you wanted to say hi to my friends. Did you already leave? Where'd you go? All right, there you go. Hello.
Hello.
We want to do a little bit of okay. Wave and say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What do you think about the Patriots in week 2? Good. Okay, me too. Solid talk. All right, see ya. Bye-bye. We're gonna do a little NFL news and notes before we get to the power rankings. Right off the bat, I don't know if you guys heard this before. It was I saw it labeled as is Xavier Leggett smarter than a 5th grader? Ray, the clip?
I don't have it because you sent that late. Sorry.
Oh.
Next time.
Late.
I like where it's going. I'm assuming I have an assumption of what it's about.
Hold on.
Really
keep talking.
unbelievable.
Keep talking.
It's
Keep
really,
talking.
It's really unbelievable. I think I set that at 4:15.
No, you did not.
Oh, yes, I did.
The email came out at like, Bobby, fucking back me up. That email didn't come out till 7:30 tonight.
I don't recall the time.
You fucking bitch.
Please hold.
I'm trying to find it.
This is not the way. This is not. Ray.
Yes.
Never mind. You're gonna fuck this whole thing up, aren't you? Clips and thumbnails. 4:05.
Oh no, man! I woke up ready, man. I got a call right after I got jelly. They was coming to pick me up at 9:30 in the morning. I told them I'm gonna be ready.
Yeah, it's very funny. If you have a chance, go look at that. The other notes I had here, feel free to chime in. This is just going to be our NFL segment. Anything that popped out to you. The Panthers might be the worst team ever in the NFL. They are
$14 to go see a game right now.
How much?
14.
Too much.
That is too much. The home opener, $14.
Too much.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
That's not worth it. I would pay that.
Jets.
City, though.
Jets still the Jets. They are somehow the Green Bay Packers in the same century bamboozled the Jets into taking 2 of their Hall of Fame quarterbacks clearly over the hill. Aaron Rodgers don't give a shit meter is at about 1,000. And that team hates him and his coaches. He's going to get his coach fired. I don't know. Week 4. What's the over/under on Robert Saleh getting fired?
Already in the news, if he loses to the Titans, there's the potential.
If they lose the Patriots next Thursday, I think there's potential.
Yeah, I mean, it's on the edge. Caleb Williams sucks.
Oh, before we go to the Jets, I didn't know if you heard this, that Aaron Rodgers made a Netflix documentary, like a 7-episode documentary, and the Jets had no idea he did it in the offseason.
He's an asshole. He's a piece of shit.
Yep. They just found out when everyone else found out when the documentary trailer dropped. They had no idea. No one in the front office.
Things like that make me like him more, but
I was giggling. I was like, wow, this guy's he's a head case.
He's going to make Brett Favre in his unsolicited dick pics look like the golden child at the end of this thing. I mean, Brett Favre,
he stole from the
overtime. Brett Favre took him. Did they go to the playoffs with Brett Favre?
Yes.
Yes. He's gonna, all he did was send some dick pics
and he stole welfare checks from the fucking state of Mississippi.
Yeah, but not when he was with the Jets.
Oh, that was way later. That was way later.
Yeah. No, his time with the Jets is going to look like an absolute success story.
All he tried to do was fuck a reporter.
Caleb Williams blows 93 yards. Their offense is anemic. He looks like I don't know why the reporting around this kid continues to be positive. I guess they got the win, but that's only because Will Levis is even worse with one of the worst pick sixes the NFL has ever seen. Caleb Williams sucks, and he will suck forever. He's going to blow. He's a bust already. Mark it down. Silverman Sports Show. If either of you disagree with me, feel free, but also fuck off. He sucks.
No, he looked terrible. I thought he would at least look athletic. He didn't.
Who gets fired first? Bears head coach or the Jets head coach?
Jets.
This just goes back to college football's ruining the NFL, Bobby. Your sport sucks. Them and their dumb cards of Miley Cyrus and poop emojis.
Fault that Caleb Williams is a cunt. That's a totally different thing.
Yeah, but it is college football's fault that Drake May can't start because he doesn't know how to.
No, that isn't his fault either. That's not college.
It's not his fault. It's college football's fault. Calling plays with fucking shoelaces. Dumbasses. That was backed up by me by one David Andrews, 10-year veteran of your New England Patriots, said it in his podcast that we'll get to with Sara Marshall. And then lastly here, NFL news and notes, Deshaun Watson, another lawsuit coming out for this guy out of Texas. Another woman claiming sexual assault. And there's a lot of words here, but I think we're a little bit late already, so I won't read them all. But in short, Mike Florio did some a lawyer by trade did some digging into Watson's contract, and essentially what it says is if any incident was not disclosed to the Browns before they signed the contract, and a new lawsuit comes out, Browns can void that contract, which is how
it's a plant. Browns did it. It's a plant.
That would be
amazing. Especially after week 1, how bad he was against the Cowboys. Yep. What a genius play. The
Browns comes out the next day. The woman's like, yeah, he touched me here. It was bad. I said no. He kept doing yes.
Well, there's video, right? There's video evidence of all this crap going down or something.
Imagine under the table dirty payment to a woman of like $30 million and you'd save $200 million.
Well, didn't he settle like better quarterback play? 24 lawsuits already?
I think it was more than that. I went to look it up today. I didn't. I think it surpassed 25 at one point.
Yeah, I mean, he must have spent millions.
No, I'm saying the Browns. Like the Browns,
Browns paying the woman.
Like cut a check for $30 million and it still saves them $200 million on Deshaun Watson's shit.
Oh, that'd be solid.
Ridiculous contract. That's just good business. I don't know what else to say about that. He sucks. He's another guy. He's done. I said, and I'll give you another fucking toot, Ray. I said Jacoby Brissett is better than Deshaun Watson to start the season.
You're right.
And wouldn't you know it? He looks better than Deshaun Watson. That guy looks toast.
I don't want to argue with you because I don't want you to shit your pants right now. So.
Oh, okay. That's why you don't want to argue with me. But thank you. I appreciate you thinking of me. Anything I missed?
Nope.
Great. Okay. Let's throw it over to Dr. Big Mac's NFL Power Rankings, please.
Just seeing that hamburger makes me very, very hungry right now. It looks
Can
delicious.
you eat hamburgers still?
Oh, yeah. I can eat everything now. You can eat anything you want, including your mother's ass.
There
See?
it is.
I saved it. He's good.
He's back.
It's good.
All right. We are behind schedule. We are expecting Sara Marshall at any point in time, correct?
Well, she wrote us an email saying she was running behind because she had to put out an article, but she will be on between now and 8:30.
Which is totally understandable. See, you two losers who don't have lives don't understand what it means to be on a very busy, complicated schedule. So
she was working. You were shitting. There's a big difference.
Oh, if you don't think that's work, son, then come on over, okay? Come on over, all right?
I've ditched you in many of bars because you took too long to shit. I know how long
local professional daughter Finley walked in waiting for me to go on a walk and said, how long is this going to take? Stopped herself mid-sentences and went, ooh, stinky dad. So if you don't think that's work, again, you don't know nothing, all right? Speaking of work and bad work, go ahead, Ray. Let's go down your power ranking. Is this Bobby's first
No, he did
into the Dr. Big Mac's power rankings?
No, I've been around one of these things before.
Okay, yeah, he knows how great these are with the enthusiasm in his voice. So yes, the NFL season has begun. So I have my first top 10 power rankings of the NFL season. I want to throw out 2 honorable mentions. The first being our New England Patriots. One time we thought they were going to be 0-17, but now they won their first game of the season, maybe against the 6th best quarterback in the NFL right now. So that was a big to do. And the other one I give a tip of the cap to is the Green Bay Packers. If Jordan Love doesn't get hurt, I think they sneak into the top 10 because they did go toe-to-toe with the Eagles down in Brazil and played really well. So are we ready with number 10? Or
yeah,
you guys
I mean,
like
there's at least one team on here that deserves to be below the Packers for sure, and probably the Patriots by the 105 coming up. So go ahead.
Absolutely. Number 10, I have the Buffalo Bills. They put up 34 points after losing a lot of players and a lot of backlash towards Josh Allen. This defense almost lost in the game against the Cardinals, 34-28 victory. I know they were playing against a team from the West Coast, going to the East Coast at a 1 p.m., but, they still won. They still look good doing it. Their offense is still firing on all cylinders. So I have Buffalo at number 10.
I'm not going to say they're firing on all cylinders. I would say
the offense was firing all cylinders.
No, it wasn't. Josh Allen kind of looked like a dope again.
It's the week 1. Week 1. This is week 1. That's why it's very hard.
It's either week 1 or they're firing on all cylinders.
We're firing all cylinders.
Or they're firing on all cylinders for week 1. At least explain it correct. God damn it. All right, keep going.
At number 9, I have the Baltimore Ravens. They lost to the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City, but look good doing. They were a toe touch away from making it a overtime game. So Baltimore, Willie, you went up against the champs on the banner dropping night, so I put the Baltimore Ravens, even though they lost, at number 9.
Too low. You guys didn't think that they'd have a sniff against the Chiefs. They do have a sniff. They won't beat them because Lamar Jackson cannot
He might die.
execute in late games, and he might get hurt before that.
Or
But
throw.
they have enough talent and are good enough coaches to sniff the Chiefs, and they did in that game. So this is too low. Go on.
All right, here's number 8, where Bobby and Rich are going to get very angry and start yelling at me. I have the New Orleans Saints.
This is the stupidest fucking. Go ahead, Bobby. I've been yelling at him.
Yeah, please, Bobby, go ahead. Why don't the Saints belong
They
in number
beat
8?
literally the worst team in the history of the NFL, and they get in the top 10. This is a gross overranking.
If you're not taking into strength of schedule and the fact that the Panthers are the worst team in the NFL, and the Saints beat them based on and the way they look last year, and
They're selling tickets for $14 for their home opener. They're a glorified high school team.
The Saints do not belong on this list. The fact that you put them there is an embarrassment to us and our show. And
can I just ask a real quick question? Real quick question. Is this called Rich and Bobby's Dr. Big Mac's top 10 power rankings, or is it called Dr. Big Mac's top 10 power rankings?
The whole
Richard?
point of the segment is we tell you how much they suck.
Fair enough. Number 7, I have Miami Dolphins. They squeezed out a win with controversy in the morning with Tyreek Hill going up against Jacksonville, who on paper should have been better than what they showed Sunday. The Dolphins defense won them that game. And if the offense keeps getting better, the Dolphins could climb up this board. Richard?
I don't hate this.
Bobby?
Fine.
Number 6, right outside the top 5, I have the Dallas Cowboys. Are they good? This is against they play the Browns, who might be the worst team other than the Carolina Panthers. I mean, Deshaun Watson looked like shit. The offense couldn't do anything. The defense looked like shit. They made Dak Prescott, who just got that payday, look great. I think, it was a great win on the road in Cleveland. CD got paid. Dak got paid in Jerry's world. Let's see how they do it against a better team this week.
The Dallas Cowboys are a bunch of front-running pussies.
Ooh. I've heard
Wait, hold on. The Texans played the Colts, you fool,
Correct.
not the Browns, and they beat them.
I said the Browns.
They played the Colts.
The Cowboys played the Browns.
Oh,
You're talking about the Cowboys.
Oh, the Cowboys are a bunch of front-running pussies.
Thank you. At number 5, I have the Houston Texans. They played the Indianapolis Colts. Are they a flash in the pan from last year? I don't think so, because C.J. Stroud got Rookie of the Year honors last year, and he keeps getting better. He was only sacked 4 times in the 2-point win over the Colts. I do believe they are the second best team in the AFC right now.
Too high. I was high on them coming in, but look, I feel a little fraud on this team. Your rookie quarterback can be a hot splash as a rookie. He needs to continue to improve as an NFL passer, not some bullshit college football passer that runs around and chucks the ball down the field. If he can't do that, they will regress. They're too low. Cowboys are front-running pussies, but front-running pussies should be higher in your power rankings in week 2. Texans should be lower than this.
So you'd flip-flop the Cowboys and the Texans?
Yeah. At this point, I'd put the Cowboys above your next team as well.
Ooh, the 4 Detroit Lions. They won an overtime game against the L.A. Rams. Goff found a new favorite target in Jameson Williams. Need to see more out of this offense to move them up the board, I think. But, I mean, impressive win. I don't think they're going to be a Cinderella story from last year.
No, I like the Lions. I think they're going to be a contender all year.
Would you put them at 4, Bobby, or would you put them 5?
I'd probably put them above the Eagles.
God damn it. All right, number 3, I have the Philadelphia Eagles. I love what they did in the offseason getting Saquon Barkley. I think that was their lone spot on their offense that was just bad. They didn't have a running game. Now they have a running game, get a little heat off of Jalen Hurts. So I like what they did there. Was it because it was the first game for Jalen and that's why he looked like a little lost at times? Maybe. He was sacked twice and had 2 interceptions in Rio de Janeiro. But if healthy, this team should be a Final Four come season's end.
Why don't you like the Eagles, Bobby? You've been low on the Eagles since before the season.
Because the team hates Nick Sirianni because he's a miserable douchebag.
Yep, you could definitely see that by the end of last year. He lost the room. He might again. And look, I like Jalen Hurts as a quarterback. I love him as a Patriots quarterback, but he is not that good. Just plainly put, he's not that good. And the tush push is not going to get him very far this year. Saquon Barkley is an awesome move. Those 2 touchdowns he had would have been Jalen Hurts tush push touchdowns last year, so that's an improvement. I think they're good. I put him in probably the top three. But look, I hate the Cowboys. They're front running pussies. They're not going to go anywhere. But the beginning of the season, they win. They put up numbers and they win. I got Cowboys top three above the Eagles, above the Lions, and above the Texans right now. Talk to me in week 8. They'll be dropping down the board faster than I had a diarrhea joke, but I'm going to save it because I feel like I've really killed that horse.
Quota, yeah.
So that I got issues. I got issues all up and down the board except for 1 and 2 here. So finish it up real quick.
All right. At number 2, I have the San Francisco 49ers, the defending NFC champs. Without Christian McCaffrey, took on the Jets team that a lot of analysts were saying are Super Bowl favorites to be in the AFC. The 49ers D shut down Rodgers, and the offense didn't skip a beat with Jordan Mason at running back. 49ers, they're a great team in the NFC. I think they're the team to beat in the NFC.
Yeah, and number 1, obviously, you have the Kansas City Chiefs, which is a clear favorite. Looks like they've improved from what would have been considered a down year offensively, where they won the Super Bowl, going for the three-peat first time ever in the NFL Super Bowl era. Doesn't look like there's anybody that's in line to stop them at this point in time, except for themselves. If any injuries happen, is the only way I would see that happen at this point. But it is just week 1. It is just week 1. Okay, so there you have it. Let's go ahead and move forward with headlines with the obvious one.
Oh, damn it, Richard. Hold on. Please. You
okay.
Can't...
Well, no, yeah. I mean, again, the email I guess was sent late, so
no. I have headlines. I'm sorry. I need to get some music going.
2
I didn't know
in a row is a little bit tough for you. I understand you've done a lot of talking. Your brain is probably just
scrambled. No, it's not
point.
Scrambled, but it's just life's just getting in the way right now, Richard. And I'm sorry.
Go ahead, put yourself up there all by yourself. Real
oh
nice.
My God, damn it! I hit you. The New England. How about you down? You want to write your ballot?
So we can hear you. Would be great.
There you go. New England Patriots shocked the world as they traveled to Cincinnati and shit all over the Bengals and that Skyline chili. Jacoby Brissett did what he had to do, not force the ball, make the easy play, and hand the ball off to Ramondre Stevenson, who had himself the game. 25 carries for 120 yards and 1 touchdown. The defense shut down the 6th best quarterback in the league in handsome Joe Burrow and came out on top 16-10. Patriots home opener is this Sunday at 1 p.m. against the Seattle Seahawks. The Red Sox are hot, and then they're cold, and then they win, and then they don't. Are they in a wild card? And then they are 4 games back of the final wild card spot as they start a 4-game series with the New York Yankees. If they don't split or do better, they probably will miss the postseason play. Thursday Night Football gets underway at 8:35 on Amazon Prime with the Buffalo Bills traveling to South Beach to take on the Miami Dolphins, who are favored by 2 points. And finally, rapper Kendrick Lamar will be the Super Bowl halftime performer this year in New Orleans. This has been Headlines with the Obvious One. Back to you, Richard.
Thanks, Ray.
You're welcome.
It was a little hard to hear you, but it felt like you got everything in there.
That's a Katy Perry song. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you for figuring that out. Appreciate it.
Please explain yourself. I listened to our podcast on. Can you turn the fucking music off?
Oh, sorry. I was just fading it.
Oh. Then fade it. God damn it. God damn it. Can you explain what you're talking about? Kate, what was a Katy Perry song? I said you're fat, and then he said that's a Katy Perry song, and I was like, I don't think so.
So you're on YouTube, and you're only responding on YouTube, so you have to go to Facebook, or else Wayne won't hear or see what you're saying. So that's your first mistake, idiot.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Ha ha. San Fran. That's a Katy Perry song. Ha ha ha. Wayne Barrett. Ha 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 ha. I can see it all. You idiot.
No, but see where you're commenting though. See how it has a YouTube under your thing, Richard McPhee.
Yeah.
So Wayne's on Facebook, so he can't see that in our chat.
What does that have to do with the Katy Perry song?
Oh, you're hot, then you're cold. You're yes, then you're no. You're in, then you're out. You're up, then you're down. You're wrong when it's right. It's black when it's white.
Got it. I couldn't hear you. The music was too loud. All right, let's do a little Patriots talk. Sustainable or suck, as the show title says. Sara Marshall may or may not be joining us. So let's move over to the tease part of this segment I did before. Look, we did our Patriots recap show on Monday. If you didn't listen to that, go listen to that. We talk about our immediate reactions from the game. Let me sum it up for you. There were 3 erections, and we couldn't control ourselves. We were gleeful
There was cum all over the place, is what you're trying to say.
It was embarrassingly gleeful. It was ridiculous. So this is a little step back into reality, except for Bobby was still hot and bothered, I guess, when he sent me some of these show notes for the show on Tuesday. Here we are 2 days later. Maybe he's come down, maybe he hasn't. But this waxing poetic for one Gerard Mayo, which has to be the biggest takeaway from the game, and how well they played, how mistake-free they played, the game plan. They certainly outcoached the Bengals. All of that, you sum it all up, it is a Gerard Mayo takeaway for sure. He came out of this smelling like roses. These roses are particularly well. Let me read you a couple things here that Bobby had to say, Raymond. Look, here's what you could tell that it was like a firm fucking. He was like, yeah, man, football is a coach's game. Period. This is not a definitive talent gap between most teams in the NFL. Most quarterbacks are average. A team's season will be defined by execution, preparation, injuries, and player buy-in. Coach driven. These are Bobby's words. Remember, the more prepared team will execute their game plan with minimal miscues will win. Mayo, God Mayo, Mayo, I love you, Mayo. I think
punctuation. He's not a punctuation guru like myself.
No, that's right. Grammar guru. Mayo had the team mentally and physically ready for week one. The players referenced preseason preparations, which had them physically ready for the game. Quote, let's go to the hill. Rallying cry reported from Mike Reese. Let's take them to the hill. I think that's what it was. Let's take them to the hill, boys. Referencing a training camp practice where after 2-hour padded session, Mayo called for the team to run the famous hill of Foxborough. I ask, very famous Joe Mazzulla hater, very famous Gerard Mayo hater. This, and you addressed it in your opening take, but this is a real 180 on the old Gerard Mayo vibes meter for you. Bobby, care to explain?
Well, you bring up the Joe Mazzulla point, which is a great point. You can win as a coach in basketball, but still completely blow. Joe Mazzulla, I give you. But in football, it's much more difficult to be phony. Now, granted, it's been one game. So with the premise of it, what he's done, looked buttoned up, players there, bought in. It looks like a program. He needs to do it again, win or lose. But if they look like a program that's all together, then I can get behind the guy. And then it goes from me thinking he's a phony to possibly just being a douchebag.
I do find
what week does that happen?
Well, when I say, remember how he said he's phony, like he literally doesn't know what he's doing. So then I still have to justify his behavior and the way he speaks. So then I would just justify it by he's douchey.
Look, yeah, no, look, everything you said is not wrong. It's just like your opening take and your apology. It didn't feel right coming out of it. It didn't feel right coming from your voice.
Oh, I didn't mean it, baby.
It's just too much positivity. There's too much glee going on there. We need a little bit more. We need a little less of that. So I like the douchebag take. But in all seriousness, I do find it interesting how the Patriots and Mayo have been handling this approach towards the media, and it's been a seesaw game or a yo-yo game from when Mayo got the job, and it was butterflies and pancakes, and we're going to burn cash, how to take that back. He put his foot in his mouth so many times in the offseason. That's why we came up with the opinion that they had no clue what they were doing. You combine that with reports at a camp and practice with the Eagles and what they look like in preseason. It was like, Jesus, this guy's running a shit show down there. And then they get into the NFL season. I wrote a blog about this on someofminesports.com. Maybe he just needed to get to football because he just feels more comfortable in the environment of football games. And feels more. And look, they won. So this is a lot easier to do when you win and when you're not Bill Belichick shooting snot rockets at everybody after every question. He's giving everybody answers. He's giving them direct answers, probably giving too much information out. So everybody loves him. It's a goddamn fucking puppies and rainbow show down there. So it's a lot easier when they win. But this back away from he's not a player coach. We ran hills every day. We went padded practice. It was a super hard camp. That's all I'm hearing. That's all I'm hearing from the beat guys now after week one and Gerard Mayo, the player coach. No. He ran a really hard camp. He pushed these guys. They were Take them to the hill. Take them to the hill. They're, these guys are out there like it's a fucking Marine Corps college football situation. They're playing to a man. They love Gerard Mayo. That's the talking points are fucking evident coming out of the beat guys for the Patriots. So I just find it interesting that it seems like there's a clear narrative from a media standpoint. But both things can be true. I think Gerard Mayo certainly has settled into the position now that football has started. He can talk about football. He can talk about the game, which he's clearly more comfortable than talking about even roster movements or certainly, nonsense off-season rookie quarterback bullshit.
It's like we'll be talking about the Red Sox in the summertime. Very uncomfortable
it's basically like our show the past 4 months since the Celtics won to now.
Boom. Great.
Our Gerard Mayo's offseason and our offseason the same. We're all just spewing a bunch of shit.
I give you the episode titled July Blows for Sports, Your Mother Blows for Fun.
Yeah. Please reference back to that. Would you agree or disagree with that sentiment, Ray? Does Gerard Mayo seem more comfortable now that football started, or is this all just rose-colored glasses because they won when they shouldn't have? And I'm ready to throw some cold water on that win whenever you're ready. But just touch on the Mayo thing for a second.
Well, it seems like he has the whole team rallying around him. I mean, you see how happy they were? They looked like they were ready to run through a wall for this guy. I don't think the guys were going to do that for Belichick. I mean, there was a select few. I think the whole locker room was divided, but I think this whole team, all 53 guys, were ready to run through a wall for this guy. And that's great to see, because if they're believing what he's preaching and, drinking the Kool-Aid, then that'll get you more than 5 wins this season. I think that's what they're on the pace for right now. I think they're going to shock a lot of people. I mean, they might shoot themselves in the foot for winning more games and getting a lower draft spot now instead of getting one of those top 3 picks, but so be it. I mean, I like seeing it. It's exciting football. I'm ready to see exciting football since we've been seeing shit for the past 2 years. So if that's what it takes with Gerard Mayo on the sideline, I'm all for it.
Okay. I don't, first of all, I don't think it's exciting football, and I don't think it's that much different from last year, but we can get to that on the actual game in my cold water segment. Bobby, any final thoughts on Mayo?
You can get a short-term boost in performance by just changing in culture and energy, and but any long-term results would come from like true systematic changes, player development, and real changes to the program. As an example, I'll give you when McDaniels got fired last year. The Raiders all of a sudden were kicking the shit out of the Chiefs. They were much better after that. Now you come into this year, what do you know? They blow. So right now we could just be in that period where we're experiencing this short-term burst. We're in this new wave of energy, and it feels good. But once the things that he says start not working, and then he has to start pivoting to changing to do new things. If he doesn't have that, well, then everyone's going to be like, oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, water finds its level for sure, and winning cures everything. If you keep winning, it's all gravy, baby. Because it's a proven formula. But once you stop, once the losses start coming in, how is that preaching, I'm going to make you a better man before I make you a better football player, going to go over with these guys who want to play football and want to make a bunch of money playing football and want to win football? Can you coach or can you not? And do you have good players or do you not? That's going to be, inevitably what determines wins and losses. Now you got to buy in. Certainly you have to buy in. And, that seems undeniable. They have bought in, but I think minimally half the side of the ball was bought in last year and under Bill Belichick. You don't win in Pittsburgh and against Denver on what was already the most putrid team in the NFL last year without some buy-in. I'm talking about obviously the Patriots under Belichick towards the end of that season. Belichick fucked his quarterback, and his quarterback mentally fucked himself, which in turn fucked the team out of 2 or 3 wins. I wrote this, and I was blog crazy this week. This is also on SupermineSports.com. Mac Jones fucked Bill Belichick. If Mac Jones did not throw the worst interception I've ever seen a Patriot quarterback throw in Germany when he was falling backwards and pussy-armed that ball to the Colts linebacker for the interception there when they should have scored a touchdown, Bill Belichick would be the coach of this team this year. I am basically convinced of that. It was reported by Tommy Curran that they made the decision going into Germany that if they didn't win, it was over. If they did win, Belichick was keeping his job, more or less. And that was Mac Jones. I mean, they were in the position to win that game, and he threw the worst interception I've ever seen by a Patriots quarterback, and they had to cut Belichick. It was just the dysfunction had ran its course. But if that didn't happen, Kraft would have dealt with the dysfunction for one more year. They'd be chasing Schiller's record. They'd be putting in place the succession plan of Gerard Mayo. It all would have followed suit. Mac Jones is the reason Bill Belichick is not here. So if you're happy about that, thank Mac Jones. If you're not, write him a bad letter. But that's
To his
the
mother's
reason.
house because he still lives.
If you have his address, I would like that.
Yeah, I think it's his mom's house. Ray just put it there. It's a PO box.
Mac Jones' mom.
Tennis pussy PO box, Jacksonville, Florida. So anyway, there's a tangent. Look, let's listen to the defense moving forward. Ray, you mentioned Christian Gonzalez, and some of his statistics. Man, the Patriots fans love them some Christian Gonzalez. I've got some more statistics for you here. In that game one against Jamar Chase, coverage 20 routes, 3 catches, 15 yards. Going back to last year, his top wide receivers he covered, Garrett Wilson of the Jets, 23 routes, 3 catches, 18 yards. Tyreek Hill, famously in that Miami game, 17 routes, no catches, and an interception. Jalen Waddle, same game, 4 routes, 1 catch, 15 yards. Against the Eagles, week 1, against Smith, 11 routes, 2 catches, 22 yards, and a pass broken up. And A.J. Brown, 19 routes, 4 receptions, 47 yards. I've heard a lot of the beat guys down there. Bedard kind of put some water on this, that they played a lot of zone, played about 50% zone against the Bengals. We'd have to go back and look, see what they were doing last year. But
sometimes when you play zone, you still play man in your zone. Like you're responsible for a part of the field, but when they're there, you got to cover them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's zone or man. I mean, if he's locking down these guys and not letting them catch the ball in his zone or against man, who gives a shit?
It does a little bit. It's not heir apparent Darrelle Revis if he's not chasing the guy around the field. Being in his
put JC Jackson. Put some respect on JC.
Apologies, heir apparent JC Jackson. He didn't pocket him, but just on the TV copy and the couple routes that you could see from the wide version, I mean, he had him. He was, he didn't get burnt. We have not seen Christian Gonzalez get burnt. To your opening take, Ray, even if he's not the heir apparent of J.C. Jackson, and he's not Darrelle, he's not Revis islanding that side of the ball. If he is a professional out there and they can rely on him to take away, do his job, that's better than, 75% of the league. I mean, not everybody has what could be considered a number one true left corner. So, and then you throw Jonathan Jones, who looks again fucking awesome.
Sounds of science.
That defense looks pretty good. Week 1, they had the 6th best pass rush, 3rd best run defense. We've heard the amoeba defense from Bill Belichick's scheme, which is, again, what I'm hearing is basically it's the same scheme, which doesn't surprise me. It's Gerard Mayo's scheme, which was Bill Belichick's scheme. It's the only thing that they've ever known. It's what he came into the NFL's. He's never known a different organization. Why would it be different? DeMarcus Covington is obviously putting his own wrinkles in there. But the point is, they were disguising coverages up front. They were bringing guys, dropping guys, shifting around, which is great. That's what you need in the NFL. You make it hard on top 6 quarterbacks like Joe Burrow. Great tackling, not something you see every week 1. Usually they come out with poor tackling.
You don't see that all year long.
I think they only missed 1 tackle of note.
Yeah.
So this is all to say, Bobby, does Elliot Wolf deserve some credit here? We've kind of shit on him for literally bringing everybody back except for Matthew Judon. Does he deserve credit for that? Now that we've seen the level of cohesion that defensive unit has, being able to do the amoeba type defense?
I think defensively you can give them some credit because those are all veteran players that were proven. So in re-signing defensive players, the risk is minimal. And if you're bringing back a defensive coaching staff that also knows this system, what they're trying to do is have continuity there. There's certainly, you could question him on the offensive side, and it's a total rebuild on offense, really from the ground up. But defensively, sure, if you want to judge him by the product on the field, he put that product on the field.
So Handsome Wayne says no credit because it's just week 1. I just pushed back on that defensively. I think that it's harder to judge offense on week 1 because offense grows and develops and adjusts off defensive game. But defense, look, if you're playing, defense can evolve too throughout the season. But if you're disguising coverages and tackling that well in week 1, it should be expected that you can do that throughout the rest of the season. And those are the type of traits that will make you a good to great defense all season long. Now, personnel is going to be the bottom common denominator for all of that. I still think they're weak.
Depth.
Yeah, I think they're weak in the linebacking core. Juwan Bentley he's turned into a classic Patriots linebacker. Well, you got to give him credit. Obviously, he's not a passing game player in terms of coverage, but the dude's all over the place. He's the leader of that defense. He's great. Tavai, kind of a Van Noy guy that came out of nowhere and turned himself into a decent player, but they don't have a playmaker in the middle of that field.
I'm going to put it on. Nope, I'm going to put it on Bobby because Bobby, please take your victory lap. Keon White, you did say week 1 that was going to be the Matthew Judon replacement, and Keon White did have an exceptionally great game. So Bobby, please, roses to you. Please elaborate on that.
I'd love to take the roses, but I don't feel as if I predicted that performance.
I believe you did predict that performance.
Suck my dick, Ray.
Rich shit all over your take.
Me. Now what he did was shit on he was a Keon White replacement, but what Rich did was take my words out of context because he's cunty.
Well, yeah, also has hot snakes.
Some people call it cunty, some people call it smart. Keon White was not a Matthew Judon replacement. My second question here, which I'll get to in a second, is revolved around Matthew Judon. And first of all, I wasn't talking about the front. Ray, you interrupted me as I was talking about the fucking linebackers in the middle of the field in which they do not have a playmaker, unless you count Kyle Duggar as a linebacker.
Also interrupting me where I said the playmaker in the middle field is supposed to be Kyle Duggar, or should be.
Well, he's not, though. He's a linebacker, and he gets burnt by tight ends continuously.
Kyle Duggar.
Kyle Duggar.
He should be the playmaker in the middle of the field.
Okay, fine, but he's not. He's not a linebacker. He's not a Mike linebacker. He's not going to line up in the middle of the field. He's going to line up in the backfield, or he's going to line up on the line of scrimmage. That's what safeties do because he's a safety. So he's not that guy. They don't have one. They don't have a linebacker. They don't have a playmaking linebacker. They're going to go sideline to sideline. They don't have one. Okay? Keon White is not Matthew Judon. They should have paid Matthew Judon. They got $40 million in cap space. They're the middle of the league in cash spending. You've seen how good this defense is right now. You see what Keon White is in the middle of that line, Raymond, not in the secondary or not in the linebacker, not in the second level, on the line. You see what he is. If you put Matthew Judon next to him, think how good they'd be.
I agree with the premise that having Judon there would be good, but if he was being an absolute douchebag in the locker room, we already discussed he couldn't have been there with doing that.
Give him $20 million. He won't be a douchebag.
I agree. Keep him for a year, but you also can't reward people that are tanking your locker room.
He wasn't tanking the locker room.
Maybe the staff made an example.
No. They should have paid the guy. They had money. They should have just paid him. They shouldn't have paid him for 1 year. He's not getting paid in Atlanta. He wasn't getting paid anywhere else. No one was going to pay him. Nobody was going to pay him. They haven't paid him.
He's 31. He's
give that guy $13 million in cash this year to go get to the backfield.
I would have been fine with that, but as long as you're not tanking your morals in your locker room for that.
No, he would have been. He got his money. He got it. That was his whole deal. He just
give the man his money.
That's the thing.
All right, Ray.
Wait. If he was being disruptive in the locker room, then why the fuck would you want to keep him around? If Mayo's trying to preach this team,
who said he was being disruptive in the locker room?
There's reports coming out saying that he was very. The beat guys like Tommy Kern was talking about, Greg Bedard was talking about. It was on Felger and Maz how basically he was being disgruntled in the locker room and being very hard to deal with, and that the front office was just fed up with his shit and wanted him out, and that's why they didn't give him an extension, and that's why they didn't want to resign him.
I push back on that. I listened to a lot of reports and read a lot of them, and I did not see he was being disruptive in the locker room. I read that he was down at the field, and they had to ask him to leave one day because he was being an asshole about it. Then he went to Godchow, and there was a little talk there with Drew Rosenhaus on the sideline and on the field, and there was some back and forth there, and there was animosity and clearly a discourse going on between the team and Judon wanting probably a multi-year deal. Look, if Judon wanted a 3-year, $30 million deal, and that was the only thing he was going to take, fine, trade him, no problem. 3rd-round pick, great return. But if he would have taken his market value or above it, 13 to 15 million, just to play on this team this year, which he would have, then they should have done it. They should have done it. It's a perfectly okay second guess. And guys like that who are team leaders, everyone you've talked to said that he's a team leader and a great locker room presence. He was just playing hardball for the fucking money. Give him the money, and he would have been there. That's all I'm saying. Just
They
give
have
him the
plenty of
money.
money to spend.
They paid everybody else. And if Coach Vibes is putting out such great vibes down there, turn that guy around too. Other side of the ball, what more do you want to see? I put Jalen Polk and Pop Douglas. You want to add to that or expand on it?
As long as no one says fucking Drake May, I'm happy with. If you want to see the more receiving core, I would like to see that. I like to see Austin Hooper get involved in the game a little bit more too. I mean, I know he was targeted a couple times, but I just want to see some more packages in his way. I want to see that 2 tight end set, obviously, because they had to run a extra offensive line to have Ramondre Stevenson have those big gaping holes like your mother's ass, Rich. Therefore, you could, that's what they needed out there. But yeah, I want to see the 2 tight end set and see what happens there.
Yeah, I just want to see Brissett push the ball down the field. If you listen to the people that watch the tape afterwards, they say that there was people open and Brissett didn't. He chose not to push it. So whoever's out there, he needs to push the ball down the field if he feels he can make the throws.
Yeah, everything I've heard, Polk and Douglas were both open a lot on film. So AVP, head coach offense, let's put that in Jacoby's ear that he needs to look at these guys and not
Push the progressions, make them the first or the second.
Not one-handed KJ Osborne, who got the most targets, I do believe. Let's get that guy out of the way and let these 2 kids run. Lost my train of thought. Biggest concerns before we move on here. I'll give you a couple. Feel free to expand or think about it. Week 1 game plan versus a traditionally slow starting team in the Bengals and a poorly led team in the Bengals. Obviously, bad vibes there, not playing their players. A lot of smoke now that T. Higgins is faking that hamstring injury. Joe Burrow is going through a transition, as Bobby has reported. And you've got all offseason to plan for week 1. And you've got Alex Van Pelt, who's very familiar with the Bengals. I don't know. I just should we be concerned by that as the season gets rolling and you start to snowball throughout the week? Is Alex Van Pelt going to be a little bit over his head offensively, specifically?
No, because they're going to truck the Seahawks and go 2-0, you jackass.
Ooh.
Fair enough. How about offensive line? 50% pressure rate on Jacoby Brissett, which was second highest in the NFL last week. Didn't feel like that because they were running the ball so well. But if they need to throw the ball, they've obviously not proven that they can do that yet. You worried about the offensive line? Spoiler, Ray, you should be. You should be worried about the offensive line. They haven't proven shit yet.
Rich, we also have our guesses here. So whenever you want to throw her on.
Sure, come on in.
Apologies.
Hello, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hello. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Great, how are you?
Busy.
I was just explaining to these 2 bums that it is difficult. They always give me grief for potentially being late or being late. And when you have busy things to do and you have success is riding on your backside the whole time, it's a little bit difficult sometimes to show up.
Yeah, I had to push back my stream to get an article out because the Patriots love to put their injury reports out at like 8 p.m. So,
can you give us a quick injury report update?
Yeah, they added Kyle Duggar was limited, Jermichael Hasty was limited, and somebody else. Who else was it? Oh my God, I have to go refer to it because I don't.
It's okay. You just did it. Why would you remember?
Yeah, I wrote it really quick. Layden Robinson also limited. So moving in the wrong direction. Yeah.
Any report on when is
still out? Not at practice. Probably not going to play this week. So expect Michael Jordan. Still expect all the shuffling.
Great.
Still.
Nice kitty. Hi, kitty.
Thanks. Yeah, she sees the camera and decides it's time to be here. So
it's like Ray.
Yeah.
we were going through some. I want to backtrack to you and our co-host here, Bobby, waxing poetic on Gerard Mayo through one of your articles that you wrote this week. However, we were just in the middle of talking about biggest concerns moving forward, and seeing as we're on the offensive line, is that one of yours going into next week? 50% pressure rate, second worst in the NFL or best, however we want to look at that, on passing downs. Michael Jordan now still starting. Mm-hmm. Your thoughts on the offensive line? Still a question mark or a concern? Where do you put that?
Yeah, I would say it's still iffy. I'm going to say iffy because I was a little bit more impressed with how they played last week simply because we thought that they were going to get destroyed. Now, Jacoby did get hit pretty hard a few times. I'm not negating that. I even tweeted at one point how he is getting beaten up is exactly why people didn't want Drake May in. So that is obvious. We saw that. However, I don't think that any sacks counted. They were just 4 hits allowed, I believe. So that was a huge improvement. So like I liked to see that. If they can continue that, I'm going to be a lot more optimistic about this offensive line, especially with who they're down. But yeah, I think that we need to see a couple weeks of them playing like this, even without for me to not have a question mark next to the offensive line.
Yeah, I think offensive line cohesion is something that continues to grow through every season. And when you got a guy like David Andrews in there, you have to expect that that's going to continue to improve.
Mhm.
However, if game script flips even a little bit and Jacoby Brissett is forced to drop back there a couple times in a row, this show is about pouring some cold water on our gleefulness after that week 1 win. Our Monday recap show is a little bit hard to keep us down. And just after looking at it, what was his average yards attempted? 5 yards or something like that from Jacoby Brissett. Great game, made the most of it, mistake free. I get all that. Hats off to Jacoby Brissett. But if he's put in a position where he's going to have to toss the ball around, I don't know. It still concerns me.
And the run game. Obviously, we know Alex Van Pelt loves the run game. And I can't remember exactly what it was, but I know it was like 80% or 80 yards of what Ramondre Stevenson got in this game was on the right side. He couldn't do anything on the left. So it's the left side that continues to be the problem. And I get they're trying to figure it out. It's just unfortunate that we're now heading into week 2 and they're still trying to figure out a unit that is good enough to support what they're trying to do. It's like this should have been done months ago, but it is what it is. They looked okay, so let's just hope that can continue and they don't go down.
Do you think when the injury bug gets like healthier, like obviously Cole Strange is out right now, I mean, when he comes back, do you think that's going to help out the left side at all, or do you think it's going to be one of those things where it's going to be a weak side because of the left tackle still?
He's going to get his job back.
Yeah, I think I want to believe in Cole Strange because, he didn't look so hot during his rookie season. Then he kind of went on a kick where it was like, all right, he's actually a lot better. I'm not saying he looked like a first rounder, but he was definitely a lot better than what people thought. But then we saw last year he was a little bit inconsistent and wasn't like the best guy. So I think there's more question marks there, especially for a guy that's going to be potentially out for almost an entire year. So I'm not like super comfortable with that yet either because of the circumstances. So I think they're going to have to draft a left tackle. That's probably what they're going to do in the first round, which I'm fine with. That's what people wanted. We saw Joe Alt is absolutely killing it for the Chargers, and it's unfortunate, like we got Drake May, which is great, but it would have been better if they could have gotten them both.
Yeah. The right side of the Patriots offensive line is like a reverse stroke victim. It's just dead. There's nothing you can do about it. It's down. You're not going to bring it back up without some serious medication and a first round pick. Caden Wallace, swing tackle. What I'd like to see is just throw the kid out there. Like we've seen I've already seen enough of Chooks at Okorafor.
Oh yeah,
he's out. Okay, later.
I think you'll see the field.
Vidarius Lowe, we saw him most of last year. I think we know what he's all about. He's not a starting left tackle in the league. Give the kid a shot. I mean, what do you have to lose? Maybe you catch lightning in a bottle and you don't have to draft a left tackle next year. Who knows?
And he's received a lot of praise. Like Louis Riddick continues to go off about how wonderful he thinks Keenan Wallace is going to be. So, I mean, that's just Louis Riddick. I'm just saying, you can take what he says with a grain of salt, whatever. He, has a lot of experience in this. And I would like to believe that he's seen something that will grow into what Caden Wallace does. So I think, they're going to have to experiment. They saw what they like what they've seen so far from Layden Robinson on the right side enough to keep him as the right guard this week. So you might as well, the left side is a problem anyway. So throw the rookie out there and see what he can do.
Yeah. All right. So we table to show sustainability or suck. And so is the approach from the Patriots, in your opinion, something sustainable? I think the obvious answer is offensively, they're going to have to grow. Certainly in certain areas, we mentioned Jalen Polk, Pop Douglas getting some more touches there. The passing game evolving, but we're a little bit late, so I pulled up some notes from your article, and Bobby had some your article. Gerard Mayo proves negative label wrong about the Patriots player support. In summary, that he was labeled a players coach, and they are kind of pushing back on that or pulling back on that not necessarily, and he was hard on them in camp, and now it's paying dividends here in week 1 as they've come out and looked extremely prepared, low penalties, so on and so forth. So is the whole thing, in your opinion, sustainable from what we've seen from week 1, with the caveat that certainly they can continue to grow? Or was this, in some people's opinions, an extension of Bill Belichick's attempt at being a 1980s offense with a 1980s defense and trying to win in today's NFL? Where's your opinion out of week 1 on in terms of sustainability and what we've seen?
I think it's definitely old school football that they're trying to do, but I think that it's like beating a dead horse at this point, but I really think all of it is just going to rely upon the offensive line. That is really going to determine if this can be sustainable for them, because they're not going to be able to do a whole lot of anything with a successful run game or a successful pass game if they're not protecting Jacoby or Ramondre or whoever. So I think that is really going to be the factor that can say whether or not.
Let's say the offensive line does shake up and is average. Does Jacoby Brissett turn back into a pumpkin, or is this a guy that can get you to 10 wins? Like, because that's when I talk sustainability. Not 6, not 7, not like, hey, yeah, they didn't suck totally, but can he push for the playoffs? Is Jacoby Brissett a guy that, or is he going to go pumpkin? Pumpkin.
Okay, what about something in between? I'm thinking something like that. Like, I mean, I've never believed that they were going to be a 3-win team like a lot of people were projecting. I thought they were going to get more. I was hoping at least 5, which I know is not a big increase, but it still sounds better than 3. I definitely think that Jacoby has a better cast around him than we could say for the last couple of years. It just is how they game plan with that, because they didn't involve Polk a lot last week, which we saw, or at least from what people were saying, he was open a lot when you watched the film. So I think if they can mix it up, which Alex Van Pelt is alluding to, that they're not going to be a run first team every single week, then I could say, all right, we have to see how that works. And then it seems more sustainable than what they were trying to sell us all off season, which it was like, we're going to be a run game or a run team. That's it. We're going to rely on Ramondre. It's like, no, that's not going to take you very far. Right. And you can only rely on your defense so much. So I think once it's hard to say after 1 week. I hate to like beat around the bush and not answer, but I think we haven't seen enough yet to really determine. Like, I think they could definitely get a win out of Seattle. Just based on the defense alone and all the injuries that Seattle is dealing with. But I think they're going to be tested harder offensively. And then that is going to be really like, okay, this is proving how to answer your question, really.
Bobby, same question. We didn't really touch on it on our Patriots talk. Like, what level of sustainability do you see out of what we saw from week 1?
I think the defense is sustainable. It's I don't think that is something that can't be the same. I mean, are they always going to hold team to 10 points? No, but they'll always be competitive. I think what they need to do in order to change is I think it's really just quarterback play. I think you can have a slightly below average line play to above average line play, but he has to push the ball down the field. If he doesn't test windows, then we're not going to win games. So, I mean, there's open, then there's, NFL open, and the quarterback has to test these windows in order for us to turn a few of those field goals into touchdowns in the red zone. I think that's really what it is. I think it's pushing the ball down the field.
Fair enough. But Ray, any other concerns moving into week 2?
Just like I was talking about earlier, you can't have an extra offensive line every time out there. I want to see like a 2 tight end set, or just Hunter Henry and have a 3 wide receiver set instead of just actually protecting our quarterback all the time. I mean, I know we're doing it because he's going to get killed if he doesn't do it, but I want to see his team grow as an offensive line and not have to do that every single game and every single play pretty much. Let me see them go out there and if, like Bobby says, if Jacoby Brissett wants to throw it downfield, he's going to have more receivers out there instead of an extra lineman blocking for him.
Yep. Well, there you go, Sarah. I hate to cut it short. We're moving towards the end of the show here, so I'll just leave it. We touched on the defense and its cohesiveness, and Elliot Wolf's playing that and bringing everyone back. Schematically being very similar to Belichick's defense and Gerard Mayo, and we've talked about Mayo's impact as a coach and some of the concerns being mainly what we've just talked about here, offensive line and Jacoby Brissett's play and being able to continue that. So anything that you want to see, in week 2 moving forward specifically, or any concerns you want to touch on? I
would really like to see more from the receivers. That's like the receivers and tight ends, because that was something that I was more excited about this offseason, because they did get some really interesting players. I mean, Jalen Polk. I would even like to see if we can see Baker. I know that they're kind of like putting him in the doghouse right now, but we know what he's capable of. You watch his college tape. He had some flashy moments at training camp. So I would love to see what they could do with him, because I think he is a guy that can stretch the field as long as he catches the football, as we saw in preseason. And then of course, you don't bring in a guy like Austin Hooper, who isn't necessarily in his prime, but you don't bring a guy in like that to really not utilize him. And Hunter Henry had the best season of his career just a few years ago. I want to see the double tight ends that we've been promised for a couple years. So it's mostly just progression from the offense. And we just have to try and believe Alex Van Pelt with what he's trying to tell us about their plans. So
I agree with you. Ray mentioned Austin Hooper a little bit ago too, but Hunter Henry was basically a 0 in week 1.
Yeah.
So he was dealing with
defended.
Yeah, some kind of injury in the preseason there, but a lot of talk about them holding their cards close to the vest because they didn't have to show a bunch of stuff offensively. You'd have to think the tight ends will come into play. Jacoby Brissett traditionally has always been a big tight end guy. He's got 2 good pass catchers there, so that seems like an easy add offensively. Mm-hmm. And Pop Douglas seems like that kid's open every time he runs a route. So
yeah.
Throw him the ball.
I'm wondering if maybe it's like a size thing for Jacoby. Like, are you not used to working with a guy that's as small as he is? Like
average height, please, Sarah.
Oh,
average
right. Height. Well, okay. Average in America, maybe not average in the NFL.
NFL is not average for the NFL.
Yes, 5'8". 5'8" is great every other day of the week except for Sunday. Right?
No, I'm 5'8", baby.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
In your bra.
Maybe in some Timberland boots.
Yeah, with some lifts. Well, there you go. Yeah. Well, either way, Sarah, an exciting way to start a season with such low expectations, already ahead of the curve. We mentioned it on our Monday show. First time I've jumped out of my seat when Ramondre made that move to seal the game in the backfield. I actually got out of my seat and gave a fist pump. First time in a long time. So
I happy clapped.
Yeah.
Happy claps are reserved for like just automatic, it just like goes through your body and you're just like,
yeah,
you don't hit the mic, but yeah.
I had my kids yelling at me for screaming, but not in the wrong way this time. So
yeah, they're like, hush, it's good. It's happiness.
Dad, that's what you look like, happy during football season? Yeah,
like it's mixed with anger, but I promise it's good. That's just that's the mood.
Yeah. Then panic sets in that next week's going to be completely different. So we shall see. Sara Marshall, editor of musketfire.com. We met you on the top of the show. I don't know how you have the time to push out as many articles as you do, but they're many and often and fantastic. So whoever's listening, go check out musketfire.com. Thanks for joining us. Obviously, we'll love to have you back throughout the season.
Yes, maybe on a day that I don't stream late, then I can come early because that was my bad.
No worries.
Thank you, guys.
We'll make that happen next time.
All right, awesome. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you.
All right, let's do very late, but whatever. Fuck it. This or that with Chief Bobby.
All right, this or that. Here we go. What's better, being left-brained or right-brained?
I always get confused. I always get confused in this.
Left-brained is like math and sciencey. Right brain is artsy-fartsy.
See, this is why I get confused in that, because my simple mind, for some reason, puts right as like more like kind of businessy.
Right is right.
Yeah, left is kind of like you're fucking weird. You know, any lefties, you're kind of just like out there and
Yeah,
strange.
political leanings just got left out put out there. Very good.
Yeah, right is stern.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not from here, get the fuck out type of thing.
We don't do politics on the show.
No, we don't do politics on the show. So which one's better to be?
Yeah. Which one would you prefer to be?
Give me the artsy fartsy.
Makes sense.
I am left-brained,
rule
right?
the world
You wanna
and
be
manage
right-brained. You
you
wanna be
right-brain queers, so I'll be left-brained.
left brain. It doesn't get you anywhere. I am left-brained. It sucks. I suck at math. You need to be right-brained so you can be smart and do math and understand science. This is the Simple Mind Sports Show. None of it lefties here.
Yeah, take this advice with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Sleep without blankets in the bed or with blankets on the floor?
With blankets on the floor, please. I need a blanket. I need a blanket on me. I can't sleep without anything.
I can't fathom sleeping without a blanket unless I'm pissed drunk. Like
Yeah.
I can't even like you have to be like a Neanderthal to sleep without a blanket if you are not drunk.
No, when you say blanket, you also mean like a sheet,
Yes.
like covering.
I need something covered me. Yeah.
Your
I need
normal cover routine just on the floor.
Yeah, I could get used to the floor. The floor is not a bad thing, but I could also just do like a body pillow. I could arrange that to work.
Just being like a sweatsuit and a body pillow.
Yeah, I don't even need a sweatsuit if it's summer. I mean, but yeah, if it's cold, certainly if you introduced temperature, you're going to want a blanket.
Yeah,
but I thought this was more of a creature of habit type of thing.
I literally can't fathom just sleeping on a bed without a blankie.
Shut up, Wayne.
Wait,
I thought that was going to go somewhere funny. You can wrap the blankets around your mother and fuck her or whatever. Like, but no,
that's your aunt, man. That's fucked up.
I was going to say that to you.
Oh, to me. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to Wayne and his mom. I'm like, that's your aunt. That's fucking weird.
No.
Chicken thighs or chicken breast?
Give me those breasts, baby.
They're dry and there's no fat flavor. The thigh is the correct answer here.
No. You
need to learn how to season your fucking chicken there, Bobby. If you don't know,
season one that tastes
salt
better.
and pepper. Is that all you do there, Bobby? You got to put a little fucking seasoning on that, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, I season. Don't you worry.
I want you to try. Nope. You already used your quota. You need to go on Amazon and get some shit. That's seasoning. It's spicy. It fucking.
I have that.
Oh, Bobby, I love you.
I have that.
I'm sure that's full of bad stuff. That's not going to be allowed in my house.
Ingrid, what's in this? What's bad in this?
Yeah, no, it isn't organic from Costco. So
suck it, Richard.
There is no such thing as organic from Costco. Next.
Occasionally deal meth on the side for a little extra cash or pull off a few robberies here and there.
I like how you bring this up after Bill's wedding. Let's see. I'll do the robberies because I can't go deal with meth heads because they are scary individuals. When I was going to my niece's soccer
the
game,
answer here is rob drug dealers. Yeah. Robberies. Absolutely.
Yeah, robberies.
See, when I hear robberies, all I think of is old-fashioned bank robberies. And I think you know what selling meth to meth heads is? Quite literally taking candy from a baby. So I will just deal the meth and walk away. Here you go, dumbass. Come back next week if you're still around.
You're a terrible drug dealer.
You are a bad drug dealer. You would not last long in the biz, unfortunately.
Tell me about all of your drug dealing experience, you two fucking idiots. You two bad boys.
When I was 10 years old, I met One-Eyed Willie, and he was in the corner of Main Street in Manchester.
When your mother was 10 years old, she met One-Eyed Willie, put it in her mouth, and never looked back.
That was good. I'll let you allow that. I'll allow that. I'll allow that one.
Morgan Wallen or Luke Combs?
Luke Combs.
Yeah. It's Luke Combs. Way better singer. Morgan Wallen's very catchy songs.
Yeah, but all the girls drop their panties. I want to see a fat guy fucking just belt out some tunes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Have to carry your teddy bear around all day or wear a purse all the time?
Purse.
Well, Rich already carries his wife's purse, so I'm sure he's gonna go with the teddy
good
bear.
one, right? Oh, do that joke again. It was awesome. It was so good. We should hear it again.
Bobby's laughing.
Bobby's high on meth. He's fucking cranking his own supply.
Yeah, I mean the
Never
answer.
get high on your
the
own supply,
answer-
Bobby. Come on.
The answer is the purse. I mean, nobody likes a wussy man with a teddy bear, but if you wear a purse, you could just say you're transgender and you're
The only
cool.
way you get away with carrying a teddy bear around is if you're selling meth, and the meth is in said teddy bear, and that's how you're getting it through.
All goes back
whatever
to the
system
meth.
you're
Yeah.
in. Always back to the meth.
But the magicians nowadays always work.
Look at Wayne. You can explain a purse away like he's talking out of experience.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you could. Yeah,
It's a
it's my
purse.
wife's. It's my wife's.
Like your satchel.
Bar soap or body wash?
Body wash.
Soap.
Body
Because
wash is a waste of fucking time. It's bar soap.
it's soap.
What? You get the fucking ball hairs on that all the time, then you gotta pick it off and fucking give me my
For
loofah
what?
and
Just
some fucking
reapply said bar
No.
to balls.
way. No way. That's gross.
You have an
It's
issue
bar. It's
putting
bar.
your own ball hair back onto your
is a
balls?
scam. You've been scammed.
I like the
Yeah.
I like the nice scented of a body wash and my loofah. Thank you very much. You guys are
Oh, you
freaks
use
with
a
your
loofah?
cloth. And
You're
oh
cleaning
wait, so you
yourself with
just
a
go
sponge?
bare
You know how
bar
disgusting
and you just wash
sponges
your
are?
Wait.
What do you how what's this? Dennis Leary has a joke about this and the loofah and how it saves the so yeah, the loofah, there's no difference in the bar and the loofah. You scrub your balls and then scrub your face, but the magic fucking loofah doesn't affect you because what? There's nooks and crannies. It's the same thing. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
It's the same exact thing, except they crushed a bar of soap, diluted it with water, put it in a bottle, upcharged it by 15%, and sold it to a bunch of morons with whatever chemicals
Hello.
inside of it. You know,
Hello.
they're gonna make you
moron right here.
rip your gallbladder out before you're 40. Fucking idiot.
I almost made 40. I almost did it. Almost did.
Fold laundry or unload the dishwasher?
I do both, so it doesn't matter.
Ooh, humble brag.
Humble brag. No big deal.
Speaking of wearing purses,
Yeah, exactly.
what? I don't get laid
have to
for
be
it either.
coerced into doing either of those. Okay, you won't catch me folding laundry. I don't do that shit. I take it. It goes from my bag. I dump it and then stick it in the fucking drawer or hang it up if it needs to get hanged up. And unloading the dishwasher, get the fuck out of here. No,
that's not how his ancestors did it. That's not how he's doing it.
exactly.
Goddamn right. Give me the fucking. I'll fold laundry all day. It's easy.
I also do both. Neither are a big deal.
Humble
Just
brag.
fucking
Humble
grow a
brag.
set.
Yeah, Bobby. You
throw a
fucking.
movie
What
on
do you think? It's a
More-
woman's
more
job to do that,
housebroken
Bobby?
than
Yeah, this is 2024. Fucking right-brained.
Yeah, fucking
Communist.
Bobby. Fucking Native American Bobby over here.
Oh, my. All right. Well, speaking of 2024, climb a tall tree without safety gear on a windy day, or raw dog bone some strange slutty woman.
Raw dog, some slutty.
I mean,
Those
Tuesdays are a gamble every week, so there's nothing changing there. And I hate heights, so
Really?
I'm surprised you chose both. I didn't think that's how you would go.
You hate heights, really?
I
Yeah,
don't,
no, I would go. I would raw dog too.
Yeah, I mean, why
3
not?
raw dogs. All right.
I
Well,
found my actual height fear is actually around other people. I'm nervous for other people. If it's just me, I can kind of get over it. But
So if I
around
was
them.
like on a cliff, you'd
not
get
you,
scared?
people I care about.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I was just seeing if it was just strangers or friends or people that you just despise. I didn't know where it was.
You know, it's kind of anybody. We went to the Grand Canyon, and it wasn't at the Grand Canyon; it was just off of it or whatever. It doesn't matter. But there was like very little safety. Anything you could just
Yeah, there's
basically
nothing
walk
there. You could just
to the end,
fall right
and,
over.
like, fucking kids running around. Like I drank.
Did you have an anxiety attack or some sort?
I've never had an anxiety attack, but if that's what it felt like, yeah, my heart was. I was just like, grab that one. That one's going over. We gotta get out of here.
I can't see a death. I gotta go.
People die in that place all the time too. It was like once a
Oh, I
year,
bet.
someone falls off the fucking edge.
I bet.
You're bringing him back to that spot, right? Stop.
Sorry. Next one.
Last one. Have to do wind sprints and push-ups for every mistake you make at work, or get a fine each time.
Doesn't
Right,
matter
hang
'cause I don't do either. I don't make mistakes, baby. I'm fucking perfect.
No mistakes by Raymond.
But I'll just do the wind sprint so I can get in better shape.
What's that scar on your head?
I headbutted a metal stud at work and got 13
Got it.
stitches on Friday the 13th in July. Well, my fault that was there. That was their fault.
No, the correct answer is sprints and push-ups, and it's just like athletics.
Nobody wants to get fined.
In the military, you get in good shape and you learn. That's an easy one.
Goddamn right.
Yeah. I'm still so surprised you chose to bang the raw dog slut. Good for you.
Well, everyone wants to fuck your mother in high school, so might as well do it now, right, Bobby?
Word up. Simple Minds of the Week right after this.
Oh, back to school to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
I will say, I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, I do have family members with Down syndrome. It almost got me. I dodged it, but it nicked me. Bit of a day walker myself.
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as stupid does.
All right, kickoff Simplest Minds of the Week. This has made the rounds pretty much everywhere. Everyone's had their opinion, but let's go ahead and show it one more time. The Tyreek Hill arrest.
Hey, don't knock on my window like that, man. Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Don't knock on my window. Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Don't knock on my window like that, no. Like what? Don't knock on my window like that. Why you have it up? Don't knock on my window like that. Why you have it up? I have to knock to let you know I'm here. That way you can lower it and talk to you. Just get my ticket, bro, so I can go. I'm finna be late, gang. Do what you gotta do. Keep it down. Hey! Keep your window down. Hey! Keep your window down. Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car. Get out of the car. Give me that. I'm gonna break that window. Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now. We're not playing this game. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. What part of blood are you doing this man? Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested, dude. I'm getting arrested. I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting out. When we tell you to do something, you do it. You understand? You understand? Not what you want, but what we tell you. Hold on, bro. I just had surgery on my knee. Bro. I just had surgery on my knee, bro. I just had surgery in your ears when we go there with the chill, bro. Chill.
Now,
the whole thing was, did you have surgery on your ears, bro?
Okay, well, way to fucking just give away the answer there, right? That is the best part. Most people have the same opinion of this from a straight point that Tyreek Hill is not blameless, but there was an overreaction from the police officers. However, our initial response from this was what Ray just said. Bobby was the first to clue into it on our text chain, which was what, Bobby?
Yeah, why don't you have ear surgery so you can listen to what the fuck we're telling you?
As Tyreek Hill is yelling, I just had knee surgery. The cop, well, did you just have ear surgery? We told you to get out of the car. Great line.
That's a great line.
It was a good line.
I mean, they probably shouldn't have, kneed him and threw him on the ground, but that was a great line. Look, as Fox News said it, this is a good.
You can't say what Fox News said.
Fox News.
Okay.
Fox News. I'm just quoting Fox News. Their headline said, "This is a great lesson for all young black boys."
They said it. He said the clip.
That's the headline. We should have pulled the screenshot. That was an actual fucking headline from Fox News, which was pretty unbelievable. Also, just roll your fucking window down.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
You do when it's illegal tint.
Nope, not in Miami. It's not a legal tint.
Is that right?
That's correct.
You saw this on the interwebs, I'm assuming?
I did.
No research yourself?
Also, Warhammer's Nardone fucking told us that you don't have to. All you have to do is crack it down enough so you can hand your ID out the window. That's all the officer needs.
I don't disagree with that. Annie gave him the ID. It was obviously excessive. Both of them could have handled it better. But if they asked you to roll your window down, just fucking roll your window down. Like, just do it. Don't be an asshole, and it wouldn't have happened. He was an asshole from the jump. He's an asshole with like 13 kids with 13 different women. So there you go. Is he?
He's kind of a career asshole.
Yeah, a little bit. But obviously excessive force by the police there. The one cop is on leave, probably going to get fired.
Oh, yeah.
You can't just like beat the shit out of a guy for not putting his window down. So stupid all around. That's why they made Simplest Minds of the Week. And then lastly, a little bit lighter story here. Here's the headline. Lakeland man hides in drawers, uses whiteboard to evade deputies. Here's the story, and there's the picture. Johnny Yates does not, N-O-T, underlined, all capital letters. Johnny Yates does not live here! Exclamation, exclamation.
That handwriting is stellar.
That is good handwriting.
Good. That was written by a lady, for sure. That's girl handwriting.
Yeah, Johnny did not write that. Johnny
you
did
can tell
not
by
write
the
that.
Sexist fucking bastard.
Those ends are written by a girl. So he's going to accomplish.
I think
for
the
sure.
J and the Y really gives it away as a woman. Look at those. Look at how that curvature is.
Yeah. It's all very ladylike. The sheriff's office said at about 2:45 Saturday, deputies went looking for Johnny Yates, 41-year-old, at home on West 10th Street, only to be greeted by a whiteboard that was just on the screen with a message that said, "Johnny Yates does not live here."
Don't live here, man. He ain't here.
And surprisingly, shockingly, the sheriffs were not duped by this sign. They continued to pursue Johnny. The deputies used a loudspeaker to command Yates to leave the home, but after about an hour, they used smoke to get the occupants out. After still getting no response, deputy used a canine to search the home. The sheriff's office said the dog sniffed out Yates, who was hiding in a modified chest of drawers, which I'm a little disappointed we didn't get a little more description of. What's a modified chest of drawers? It's like a homemade bureau. The criminal arrest affidavit said after his arrest, Yates told deputies, get this, shocker, he ate methamphetamines, aka or what he called, quote, blue pills. So
Bobby sold him some blue pills. Have you ever seen The Bridge to Terabithia? Or the Wolf, the Wardrobe, and the other one? Narnia. Yeah, that one. That's what the bureau.
Nerd alert.
That's what I'm thinking of.
That's a Miss Bell. That's a Miss Bell classic.
No, didn't we fucking get wicked drunk and then watch that the next morning at my apartment with Alex and Scott and all of them? And Joe Carroll, like, we got fucked up, and then we watched that for like an hour and a half, and then like finally someone chimed in and go, "What the fuck are we doing right now?"
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, I think was the book. I read those books. That was in 8th grade. I was into those books, and I think Joe was too. So it wouldn't surprise me we got drunk and watched that. This guy definitely obviously was tripping balls and could have been seeing lions, witches, or wardrobes. Either way, he was coherent enough to write on a whiteboard that he does not live here. Move along, piggies.
It wasn't him. Definitely wasn't him.
This has been the Sim Mind Sports Show, Friday Rewind, live Thursday night, September 12th. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to Handsome Wayne for all your comments. See you next time. Do us a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, as always, tell your friends and tell your mothers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.